Hi, this is Rob Curto here at Liberty Bellows in Philadelphia, and welcome back to my video series on groove creation for the accordion. In our last video, we learned how to play a basic samba pattern from Brazil by imitating the part played by a surdo drum in our left hand and the part played by a hand drum called a tamborim in our right hand. In today's video, we'll modify our left hand pattern to include both the surdo part and the part typically played by a 6-string guitar or cavaquinho. If we play this pattern in the left hand using an A minor chord, it looks and sounds like this. Notice that it's a 1-beat pattern with a single bass note on our first 16th note, then a chord held for our second 2 16th notes, and another chord on our fourth 16th note. Counting, it goes like this: 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. Now let's play the pattern again, but this time on the second beat of each measure. Instead of using our root for the bass, we'll use our fifth. This is our alternating bass. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 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 1 E and a 2 E and a. This bass pattern should be practiced over all different types of chord progressions in your left hand. It's the basic pattern for samba, choro, and can be utilized in other styles of Brazilian music as well. Now, if we play the exact same pattern in A minor, except when we get to the alternating bass, or fifth of our chord, the E, instead of playing it short like this, we're going to play it long like this. Notice that I'm holding it for the full duration of our second beat. By playing it this way, we're effectively playing both the guitar or cavaquinho and the surdo part in our left hand. Now let's review our right hand pattern. This pattern comes from a hand drum called a tamborim, which is played in the samba percussion ensemble. Remember that our tamborim pattern has 2 voices, a low voice played by our thumb and a high voice that we're playing using a chord on A minor. Beat 1 of our pattern is high, low, high, low. Beat 2 is high, high, low, high. Together, first measure of our pattern is. Beat 1 of our second measure is low, high, low, high. And beat 2 of our second measure is low, high, high, low. If I put it all together, it sounds like this. One E and a 2 E and a. Now let's examine the coordination between our 2 hands. If we play our surdo / guitar pattern in the left hand, and our tamborim pattern in the right hand. Our pattern is in 2/4 and it's 2 measures long, so we have 4 beats and each beat has 4 16th notes. Our first beat in the left hand sounds like this: 1 E and a. Again, 1 E and a. And in our right hand, our 4 16th notes sound like this: 1 E and a. So if we put the 2 together and make an exercise out of it, it sounds like this. Now, our second beat is in the right hand, and using the alternating bass or fifth in the left hand, held long to imitate the second beat of the surdo. Now if we put those two beats together, it sounds like this. Again, 1 E and a 2 E and a. Now our third beat, which is the first beat of our second measure, in our right hand is, and in our left hand we get. Now if we put all three beats together, our fourth beat in the right hand sounds like this. And in the left hand, together. Now if we put all four beats together, we get. One E and a 2 E and a. Now one of the most important things about the samba pattern is that one of our two measures is accented right on the downbeat and the other measure is anticipated. The melody and the harmony of any samba tune is going to reflect this. So let's see what happens in our left hand if we play our first measure on an A minor and our second measure on an E7. Normally our pattern would be like this. A minor, E7. Notice that the last 16th note of beat 2, instead of playing the A minor chord, I'm going to switch to an E7. It looks and sounds like this. Now, if we look at the right hand, first two measures of our pattern would normally be. This last chord on the final 16th note of beat 2 is going to be an E7. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Now if we put both hands together for the full pattern, it looks and sounds like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Congratulations on learning to play a complete samba pattern with both hands on the accordion. To finish up, here's an example of our A minor to E7 pattern with lots of variation, more space, and even another voice on top, acting like a string section or a vocalist. This approach works really well in a small group or solo. In a larger ensemble, the accordion may play only one or two of these parts, leaving much more space for the other instruments. But it's really exciting to be able to play all these parts at the same time.